Hi there, it's Carol with Carol B Crafts. Today we'll be doing project number 3 in my current candy cane season club kit. You can find out more details on how you can participate in my monthly club kits by checking out my website www.cutstampcreateclub.com. You can also find me on Facebook at Cut Stamp Create Club. Everyone is welcome and there's no monthly commitment. This month we're using the candy cane season bundle, which is this sweet little candy cane season stamp set and a candy cane punch with a little bow. I really enjoyed working with this, and I know you will enjoy it as well. If you don't have the club kit, don't worry, I'll give you the dimensions and supplies as we go along so that you can follow along with us and make your own card. If you need any products, check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com. Get that current host code so that you can earn customer rewards on all of your purchases. So let's get started making our card. First, you'll need a piece of thick Whisper White 5.5 by 8.5 for the card base. You'll need several pieces of thick regular Whisper White. You'll have a piece that's 3 inches by 6 by 3, 6 by 2, a piece that is 4 by 3.25, and you'll need a piece that is 2.5 by 4, and a piece that is 2 3/4 by 1 1/8. You're going to need some Poppy Parade, and that will be 5 1/4 by 4. Well, actually 4 by 5 1/4 because we're going to use it that way. 4 1/4 by, well, 3.5 by 4 1/4, 3.5 by 4 1/4, and then lastly 2 7/8 by 1 1/4. The DSP that you'll need is just one small piece of the candy cane, and it is 2 5/8 by 1. From your kit, you'll need this I pre-embossed for you. It's a piece of Whisper White embossed with the basket weave embossing folder, and it is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and that's included in your kit. The other things that you'll need to cut a piece of 4.5 inch of the Poppy Parade mini striped ribbon, and you'll need a 4.5 inch of the textured weave Poppy Parade ribbon, and you'll need these 3, if I can get them, these 3 larger white enamel dots. And that is all the products you'll need. You will need a light Poppy Parade Stampin' Blend and your Poppy Parade ink and some dimensionals. We'll go ahead and score our cardstock, our thick Whisper White cardstock, at 4 1/4. We'll fold it and crease our fold with our bone folder. So this is ready. Now we'll go ahead and do some stamping. Now we'll need our 6 by 2 inch piece of Whisper White, our 6 by 3 inch Whisper White. This is for bows, this is for candy canes. We need our piece of 2.5 by 4. That's going to be for our 'Tis the Season. Inside sentiment, we'll need the 3 1/4 by 4. So we have those 4 pieces of Whisper White to stamp on. Now I'm going to get my Stamparatus. Okay, so I have my Stamparatus and I have my foam pad because we're using photopolymer stamps, and I have a 1/16 of an inch chipboard at the bottom to kind of give it some height. I have a stamp pad underneath to make my plate level, and now I'm going to go ahead and place that down there, and I'm going to put it on the end so that I can move it and stamp. So I'm going to pick that up, ink it up with Poppy Parade ink, Now I'm going to move it over so that I can stamp it again. And I want to make sure I have plenty of room because I'm going to have to punch these out. So I want the other one kind of in the middle. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And then this I'll do here on the end. Next we're going to use the 3x6. I'm going to put this in the corner to keep my pad from sliding. I'll keep that to keep my paper in place. And I'll pick up my stamp. Okay, now we're ready to do the inside sentiment, which is have yourself a sweet little Christmas. And that's going to be on our 3 1/4 by 4 piece of paper, cardstock. And so I'll get the stamps. The first stamp will be the, I think it's easier to stamp the words first. So we'll stamp the words first. And then next we're going to put this, the outline candy cane around our letters. Okay, and then the next piece that we're going to do is the 2 1/2 by 4 inch Whisper White. And we're going to stamp at the bottom. And we're going to be stamping the 'Tis the Sweet Season. And you can see it's a little more than 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. Okay, so now that we have that stamped, we're done with our stamping. And now we're just going to cut this so that we have a strip. We want an even distance from the top and the bottom from the lettering. So you can see how I have it cut off there. So that will go here. So now we are ready to start putting our card together. So we'll bring in all of our items here that we have. We know that the Whisper White basket weave is going to go on top of the 5 1/4 by 4 Poppy Parade, so we can do that. I put quite a lot of extra to keep this in place. We need to punch out our candy canes and we need to color our bows. And we're going to color our bows with the brush end of our light Poppy Parade. So we have our bows colored with our light Poppy Parade. Now we want to color, while we have our Poppy Parade out, we're going to color the 2 3/4 by 1 1/8 inch Whisper White. And we're just going to color that around the edges with a brush tip. Now we're going to punch out our bows. So we'll need our punch, and it's important that you punch from the right to the left. So we'll center our little bows in here. Now we're going to punch out the candy canes, and the candy canes we're going to go from left to right. And if you may need to cut some off here at the bottom to get in there nice and even, depending on where you punched your candy canes. Okay, so we have our candy canes and our bows, and we are ready to, let's go ahead and put this on our card base. Make sure we're opening it in the right direction. We'll do that with some snail. And we'll go ahead and put the inside in. So we'll take the stamped Whisper White and put it on the 3.5 by 4 1/4 Poppy Parade. So now that's ready to go on the inside. So now we're going to take a pencil and measure 1 1/8 of an inch. And that's about right here. Lightly, because we're going to have to erase it. So 1 1/8 inch from the bottom on the sides with the pencil, lightly, so that you can erase it. Now we're going to take this weave ribbon, textured weave ribbon, and we're going to fold it in half like this. We can put a little bit of a crease in it, and then we're going to cut a V by cutting from the fold to the outside. So from the fold to the outside, we'll take our ribbon scissors and just cut at an angle like that, and that will give us our V. And we'll do the same on the other side. Going to fold it to the outside like that, and that's going to be where our ribbon is. And then we're going to do the same with our mini striped ribbon. Now, two things you want to make sure of: you don't want this sticking past your card too much, and then you don't want this piece longer than that piece, because it's going to go on top. You want it kind of layered like that. Now we're going to put this ribbon on with some snail. So we have our 1 1/8 inch marks, and we're going to put some snail on the back of the ribbon, not all the way to the end. And then we're going to place it even with our marks, and then we'll do the same with this one. So we're going to do this one, we're going to use a piece of scratch paper because the snail is a little bit whiter, but it's not going to show. We just don't want to get our surface all messed up. And we're going to put that there. Now we're ready to do the front sentiment, and we'll start off by layering. We're going to put that, then this, and then the "'Tis the Season." And the only thing you want to do is when you do the "'Tis the Season," you want to be sure you leave room for the 3 little dots that are right there. Now we'll put our little white enamel dots on, and I'm using my piercing tool, but you could use just your finger if you need to. Just going to make sure I get those in a straight line. Now we're going to put these on with mini dimensionals, and I'm going to put mini dimensionals along the top and a row along the top and the bottom, so that it's not over the ribbon. So I've taken the backs off. Now I'm going to put it in the center here, like so. Now we're ready to do the candy canes. And we're going to put those on with mini dimensionals. Now before I take the backs off of my candy canes, I want to make sure that I'm going to kind of have an idea where I want to put my placement. and they're supposed to go somewhat like this, the middle one being a little higher, these touching the edges but not going over the white of the embossed white panel. So that's kind of where I want them. So now I'll just take the backs off and put them in place. Actually, I want these up a little bit higher. I'm looking at this one. I'm thinking I want these up a little bit higher. That looks better. Now we're going to put the bows on, and we'll just kind of figure the placement of those. That looks good. Okay, our card is finished, and this is card number 3 in my Candy Cane Season Club Kit. Check out my website, www.cutstampcreateclub.com, and find out how you can participate in my monthly club kits. Thanks for watching. Bye now.